everyone, and welcome to another episode of Radiant Central, and I'm your host, Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So today I want to talk about perfection, and I want to talk about how perfection could be the very thing that's standing in your way from either reaching your health goals, or your weight loss goals, or even just your life goals. I find that when it comes down to perfection, a lot of times we have this sort of an ideal that we are trying to reach, and we feel that until we can reach that, we can't go and do certain things. And a lot of times we feel like things need to be aligned in a certain way before we can go and do something. But until we reach that, we can't do anything. And I find that this sabotages a lot of people. And people don't even realize it. They don't realize the messages that they're telling themselves every single day that's holding them back. Recently, I did a video talking about how I started my online business. And a few people wrote me telling me about how they too want to become a coach or do something similar to me, but what's holding them back is either they have a health condition, or they still need to lose a certain amount of weight, and they're not at that perfect place. And they can't go and do what they want to do because they're not perfect. And what I can tell someone in a situation like that is one reason why you really need to go and pursue your dreams, is because you're imperfect. If we're telling ourselves that we can't do things until we're perfect, we might not ever get to that perfect place. And you might waste your whole life waiting to be at that perfect place. And sometimes by actually pursuing those things that we really want to pursue, it brings us to that perfect place naturally, on its own. I can give an example, a personal example of this. Has to do with weight loss. Is that years ago I quit smoking and I gained 30 pounds. And my self-esteem just plummeted with gaining all that weight. I was miserable and I hated myself because of it. On one end, I was so happy I finally was free of cigarettes, but on the other end, I didn't know how to handle all that weight gain, and I was ashamed and I felt bad, and I was angry with myself. And the problem with my situation was that I would punish myself. I wouldn't buy new clothing because I felt it was unacceptable to be at the weight I was at. And so I felt that I couldn't go and get nice clothing. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to see people. I didn't want people to see me. So I isolated myself. I wouldn't allow myself to have a social life. I held myself back from so many things because I didn't like where I was at. And I told myself that I would eventually be able to have a life and have fun and see people and buy cute clothing only when I lost a certain amount of weight. And for some reason, I thought by telling myself that, it would push me to lose the weight. And in fact, it was the reverse. It only made me feel worse. And then I would only eat more and more, and I'd gain more and more weight, and I'd stay in that same place, and my life would just sort of fly by. Only me isolating myself that whole time and feeling bad. And it was only until one day I woke up and I was like, I can't live like this anymore. I want to go and buy nice clothing. I want to go out. I want to make friends. I want to have a life. I can't hide myself in this situation anymore. I'm just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And once I kind of just freed myself of this expectation to be so perfect, did I actually start reaching my goal. And that was a very interesting thing for me, was that I went out and got myself nice clothing. I took care of myself. I didn't care how big I was. And the amazing thing was that the more I socialized, the more good things I did for myself, the more I honored my dreams and my goals and allowed myself to do whatever I wanted to do, I naturally didn't need the food as much, right? And I naturally started to lose weight. And it was the reverse of what I expected. And very quickly, I'd say, after about a year and a half, I lost those 30 pounds. And I didn't have to try. But it's because I lifted that expectation of perfection. And I let go of these ideas I had. Because I'd never tell someone, what I was telling myself, I'd never tell that to someone else, nor would I think that for someone else. What I was telling myself in this ideal of perfection, it was weird. and I realized too that even if you do reach that ideal perfection, there's going to be yet something else that you're not perfect at. And having this need to be so perfect is the one thing that can destroy a lot of people's self-confidence, and it can be the one thing that's holding them back. Sometimes when we have these goals, it can propel us forward, but sometimes it can't. And so what I recommend to anyone watching this video today is to ask yourself, what are you working on right now? And is this ideal of perfection or reaching or aiming to get somewhere, is this really helping you? Is it inspiring you and motivating you and getting you to where you want to be? Or is it holding you back? And you'll notice that some things, that ideal for perfection is definitely a motivating force. But for other things, it could be the one thing that's just sabotaging you over and over again. And once you're able to kind of see it, then you're able to do something with it. And for anyone out there that feels like, you know what, this need for perfection is holding you back, then let it go. Put it aside and just go for what you dream for. Go for what makes your heart dance. Live your life. Because we have such a short life, and the last thing you want to do is hold yourself back waiting for something to happen. Because it might not happen, or it might not happen in the way that you're expecting it to happen. And what we're telling ourselves what we can and cannot do, that's only our opinion. That's not everyone else's opinion. And so that too, it's what are these messages we're telling ourselves? Are they really true? These are things to think about, especially because perfection can be a wonderful thing or it could be a terrible thing. And really it's about, if you're one of these people that does need perfection, ask yourself, is it serving you or not? All right, so that's my little tip for today. And I just want to mention too, because there's been a few questions about the new juice fasting program and also the raw food challenge and the whole food challenge. So the next 7-day juice fasting program, it starts, the next live juice fast, it starts August 3rd. And if you sign up and want to do it before August 3rd, you can. Right when you sign up, you get the ebook, the videos, everything. So you can do it at any time, or you can join the live group that starts August 3rd. And then with the raw food challenge and the whole food challenge, they're no longer live programs. You can do them at any time. So once you sign up for those programs, you immediately get the ebook, the recipes, the guidelines, plus all the videos. And you can also do it at any time on your own. All right, so if you want more information on these programs I offer, you can go to my website at radiancecentral.com, and you just click on products and juice fasting programs there, the whole food challenge and the raw food challenge is there. All right, have a fabulous day everyone, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.